Hey, welcome to another episode of the Blackout Tips podcast. I'm your host, Rod, joined as always by my co-host,
Karen.
And we're live on a Monday, ready to give you a little bit of podcasting. Find us everywhere you get podcasts. Leave us 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts. That's not a suggestion. That's more of a demand at this point.
Yes, it's a demand.
Live show tickets are in the show notes, the link to get them. We see you buying them. We appreciate you getting them, whether you're going to be virtual, whether you're going to be in person. Charlotte, North Carolina, Blumenthal Center for Performing Arts, downtown, and it'll be the 28th of February. So we got a meet and greet before, and I just remembered I forgot to email them to tell them to open up more of the premium tickets. I'll work on that, guys. My bad. All right, Karen. The official weapon of the show is
Phone chair.
That's correct. That is correct. And the unofficial sport,
Bullet ball.
that is correct as well, Karen. And in addition to that, bullet ball extreme. Do you have any banter?
Yes.
Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Talk to me. Do you have any banter? Do you have any banter?
I do.
Talk to me. Banter. Talk to me. Do you have any banter?
I do.
Banter.
I do.
All right, Karen.
This is how can I say this? You know how when you read stuff online, they be like nobody, and then me. This is gonna be me right there.
Okay.
Nobody, and then me brings us something we talked about hours ago that you probably have forgot what we was talking about. I don't know why I do that, but I do that sometimes. Because sometimes, like when we talk, even with you and just people in general, and I didn't realize this about myself until until I got older. Like I have a conversation with somebody else, they be done ended the conversation, but sometimes my mind will keep ticking on that conversation, and I won't forget that conversation. And then when I come back to that person, a lot of times they don't remember what we talked about, but I kind of remember what I wanted to say and how I wanted to be rebutting and things like that. And they be like, "What are we talking about?" Then I have to re-remind them, like, "Oh yeah, we was talking about that thing."
No, I don't think that's just you, but I made a joke yesterday because you were like, and another thing, and I was like, you know, it'd been a great time to bring this up on the podcast.
Yes.
When we had talked about it originally, and you was kind of like quietly debating whether or not you wanted to give your opinion. That was the time for this opinion. Now it's the middle of a game that I'm watching, and I'm trying to pay attention, and you just brought up whatever it was we talked about yesterday.
Yes, I was like, oh, I know what I brought up. And I know the audience remember we was talking about Azalea Banks and her doing everything but making the record. And I was like, what I realized about her is everything she does it. I personally feel like she does this for attention more than anything else, because I never hear about her unless it's she talking shit about somebody. I don't ever a lot of times she has nothing positive to say about anybody, and everybody's terrible and horrible but her. She the best ever. You know, you ought to know who she is. And I was like, oh, okay, that's the currency of the internet, which I understand, but it's like we've been through this so many times with her. And one thing I'm very surprised about with the internet never learns, which means people never learn, which means we consistently go through these cycles. When things happen, it can't be as simple as oh, these are the things. It's like, no, men versus women, everybody automatically pick their sides. Is white versus black, everybody automatically pick their sides. It's like most people have been on the internet long enough to understand this is what happens, but for some reason people feel like they have to have that song and dance every single song.
I just feel like
time.
Her music is supposed to be the thing that gets her attention, and she for some reason can't make any good music anymore. So she's now just a regular person like the rest of us, giving bombastic opinions and getting attention off of that because, you know, anything to avoid that booth, you know, get in the booth. That's the answer to everything. Get in the booth.
Ain't that, particularly if you rap, yes.
All right. I guess this is doing banter. I got a couple things. Did you have more, or that was it?
I got one more.
Okay. All right. I'll do one and then go back to you. This morning I woke up and I checked my Apple weather app, and the weather app was like, it's raining. It won't be raining for about 4 minutes. In 4 minutes, it won't be raining for 8 minutes, and then it will be raining again. And I did not know it could get that specific.
Right?
It could be like if you need to go get something out your car, you got 4 minutes.
You better go now, bitch.
I'm like, how does this shit know that to that like degree?
Got it showers.
Of like over your house, it won't be raining in about 4 minutes. So if you really forgot your umbrella, you can go grab that shit
right now.
I took a screenshot of it. I was just so like, what? And the screenshot got no love. Nobody replied to it because I think everybody was like, either they don't care, or maybe it's not mind blowing to them, but it's mind blowing to me. Back to you, Karen.
I feel you. When do people take like their Christmas lights and decorations down? Because I still see them up. And I looked at Roger and I was like, you know what? I feel like keeping my Christmas decorations up until the end of January. We hit February, I'll take them down. I've had them up for a while, and I thought about it. Can't nobody stop me. I take them down. I take it take them down when I feel like it. And it's one of those things where I just like we got like a little small Christmas tree. I like it. It's pretty. It makes me feel good. So I was like, you know what? We gonna be here until Heart Day then. Fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, it could stay up as long as you want it to. It's just us in here anyway. Nobody really come through.
Ain't that the truth?
You know, it's not like they're outside lights where it's got to be our neighbor's problem.
Right.
You know? And I think it looks pretty as well, you know?
And it makes me feel good. So I was like, you know what? Yes.
Let's see. I have a couple other things. And then we'll get into the show, which is probably going to be a long show about one topic.
Okay.
I got outdoor glove. I got gloves for my outdoor walks because I'm that committed. Okay, I had like because when you walk outdoors right now, it's that point where like I'm out there for over an hour and it's like my hands could get cold. And then you know it's only so far you can put them in your pockets or your sleeves before it don't matter. And so I broke down and got some gloves because I'm not gonna start walking outside just because it's getting cold. I'm not gonna go out there and risk my life. Obviously, guys, if it's look like it's gonna be a fucking avalanche, I'll be at the house.
Yeah, but that's big for you. When we went on the 5K, I had gloves. I was like, bitch, it's cold.
Yeah. And so yeah, I got gloves and I'm out here. Okay, we out here. We committed. We not starting over in the new year.
Are they special gloves?
Nope,
or just
gloves.
Okay.
Didn't need anything special. Just needed some gloves for my walk. I probably won't be wearing them but a few times a week anyway. So. You know, I know they got gloves with you could touch your phone and all that type of stuff, driving gloves, but I don't think I need anything special.
Okay.
It is officially the anniversary of two things that have completely opposite bearings on our audience. I'll start with the good first. Today is officially the 15th anniversary of the Blackout Test podcast, first episode. The Love Movement,
yeah,
I believe it's called, or the
years.
the Love Cast. That was the name of it.
You can go back and listen to it. It's every single one of our episodes is out there. If you want to go back down to
2010. 2010 is when we started this thing.
2010.
And yeah, man, I'm very happy. I'm proud of where we are. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Look at us.
Look at us. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought?
15 years ago, you know, we sat down and recorded a podcast 3 times in a row.
Ooh, took us hours. 2 computers.
Broke computers.
Soundboards went down.
Broke the mics.
Child, then we got
returned something to Best Buy.
Right. Everybody looked at you like, I don't even know how to get this shit up on iTunes.
I think it may have taken us like 3 days to get it up on iTunes. I'm not even sure, but
it took us a long time.
But I think the 6th was the first day we ever recorded. And you know, very proud of what we've done, and thank you for people listening, because without y'all, we literally would not be doing this if no one was listening.
Right.
And we've gone through some times, some like different hosts, different websites, different orientations of what the podcast is going to be about.
People watching us live. We went through vocal. We've done several formats of being live. Some of these companies are out of business. We outlasted a lot of shit. You know what? We outlasted was it not Spotify? It was one of those applications.
Stitcher.
That's what it was. We were pre-Stitcher, I remember when Stitcher first came on. Stitcher was a great app when it first came on because it kind of revolutionized podcasting. And we used to tell everybody, get Stitcher, and I loved Stitcher. And when they got bought, like a lot of companies, they buy shit out just to have it, and then they don't do shit with it, even though they could actually make it a better platform. They just be like, we bought it, fuck it, because they was basically competition. You just basically want to kill your competition, but yet you don't want to do what you need to do to make your product better because you're lazy on that end. And we actually watched Stitcher come and Stitcher leave. That's how long we've been around.
Yeah, many platforms, Blog Talk Radio, bunch of stuff. But so it's that anniversary, which I hope makes you feel warm inside. But of course, if you're looking at the calendar, you also know it's January 6th, which is the 4th anniversary of when them fools ran up on the Capitol building and tried to overthrow the government in the election.
They took our anniversary,
which is so ironic. If they had just waited 4 years, the country would have gave it right back to them.
Right.
Wouldn't even need to do all that go to jail time. You could have been out free with the rest of the MAGA people, just chilling, waiting for everybody to just quit and be like, actually, Trump's not that bad. Eggs cost a lot. But the thing it really made me think about today, being that this is January 6th, 4 years later, and today is when they certified the election for Trump. Did you notice anything about the Capitol building, Karen, today?
Was something special? Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Right. Which is normally how the shit goes.
Well, that's not what I was going to say, Karen. I'm saying nothing happened. What happened to all my, when they go low, we go lower people? Where y'all at?
Mm-mm.
No, don't shake your head. No, don't shake your head at me. They made promises. They talked that shit.
Yeah,
Today was day one. It was a test. I didn't want to tell y'all. It's a pop quiz. I didn't want to tell y'all because I knew if I told you, then some of y'all would show up to try to prove me wrong, even though y'all really ain't about it. I said, watch this, January 6th. If y'all about that life, y'all got to roll up on the Capitol building and be like, don't certify Kamala. Don't do it. I would have even taken like 10 people. I don't even need to be thousands. Y'all don't even need to hurt nobody. I just needed y'all out front talking that shit. I feel like that's a bad omen for this next 4 years of resistance they claim they're going to be doing. Cause today was a day to be like, hell nah, we not down. We not gonna let this just happen. But everybody was okay with it. So It seems like business as usual.
Of course, I've been called bullshit because most people that talk that shit, they rule followers. They don't like to break the laws. Like, not trying to be funny, they do as they're told and shit like that. Like, and so it's one of those things. I was like, oh, so y'all gonna be big and bad and go up there and go against the law? I don't think so. I actually do not think so.
Yeah, our side is rule followers.
Right.
Like we're not the ones that, that's why I roll my eyes every time someone says it. It's as much a platitude as any of these other slogans they have that are just unrealistic. Well, I'm like, but make it mean something.
Right.
Show me the work that's going to make this mean something. Because right now it's just a thing I could type on Twitter or Facebook or post a picture of and everybody goes, yeah, you're a good person. But like, y'all been talking shit about Michelle. Y'all been talking shit about like we Democrats don't want enough. Well, where were you?
And that's my thing because that's a thing. That's why I say online ain't real life because a lot of these people talking this shit will not leave their homes. Yeah. So it's one of those things where particularly if you let online hear it, people are supposed to just go up there and just show their asses and make these demands. I knew the demands were not coming because the first time he got elected, you know what happened? Marching in the street. A lot of shit just stopped. All the protesting and shit that y'all did, the people did for Kamala against Biden, and they was like, you got the right, you free speech.
I'll tell
go
you
ahead
this.
and do it.
Tell you this much. It's going to be a lot of opportunities with Trump giving speeches for y'all to run up on him and make demands of his foreign policy. It's going to be a lot of opportunities because I'm pretty sure his foreign policy is going to be very harsh. And there's going to be plenty of opportunities for you to get your voice heard and get out there and fight them battles because I think he's going to provide them. Like, I don't think it's going to be a thing where foreign policy is going so well under him that we can ignore it. I think it's going to be bad, and we'll see who's really about that life. But yeah, those two anniversaries made me, like, damn, they really tried to ruin the blackout tips our day. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, y'all couldn't have did that shit on the 7th. Anyway, I'm trying to watch Kevin Costner's movie Horizon, An American Saga Part 1 on Netflix. I've been trying to watch it for 7 weeks. I watch it a minute at a time because it's not. And here's why. And I don't think I've ever had a movie do this to me. But I'm a person that typically when I watch a movie like this that requires you to pay pretty good attention, I turn the phone off, stay off the laptop, whatever. And if I do pick up a phone or something momentarily, I will rewind to be like, nope, I need to see this so I can get a full opinion of this movie. Mm-hmm. This is the first movie I've ever seen where I'm not on my phone, I am not distracted, and I feel like I'm on my phone. I've never felt this before. Like, I'm actually paying attention. And they just, like, go to another scene, and I'm like, wait, what just happened? Who that? What he want? What year is this? So is that his son or his daughter? Wait, what location are we at? What city? Who? Now, who is he? Is that his ancestor or that's happening now? This is the most confusing goddamn movie I've ever seen. And
you pay attention.
It just goes from scene to scene. Nothing's explained. You just don't know where you are, when you are, who you are talking to, following. It's like, here's a scene with Native Americans. I'm like, okay, they must be important. Here's a scene with some white people. All right. Here's some different white people. Okay, here's a priest. Okay, the only thing in common in this movie so far is black people don't have speaking lines. I looked at the clock because I said, well, how far am I in this and I don't know who anyone is? That's crazy. I'm over an hour into it and the shit's 3 hours.
What?
It's been an hour and I can't.
Didn't you say part 1?
It's supposed to be 4 parts, but I heard he didn't get funded for the last 2. And I see why not. Honest to God, if I had to take a test on who the characters were, I would fail. And I might even fail if you just gave me loose description of like, so who is this character, little girl on the prairie? I'll be like, I don't know which one that is. Was it one in the movie? I don't know. Who's the Native American guy with the red face paint? There were several or none. I can't keep up. I don't know what the fuck is happening. I don't know why he made this movie. And I'm sorry, because he spent a lot of money on it, and it's a passion project, and I heard he left his good job over there.
He left his good job?
Yeah, he may have left his good job over there with Taylor Sheridan's show about the white people in the old country. And like they killed him off and everything. Like he crashed out. They mad at him about how he left that show. And he was like, to make this movie. And I remember reading that and saying, then this movie must be fucking amazing.
Flames.
He gonna put his heart and soul in this shit. He stars in the movie. Karen, he didn't pop up for an hour into the goddamn movie.
What?
Yes. Yeah, Yellowstone. Thank you, Romy. He did not pop up until an hour into the movie. And even then, I don't know what his relationship is to any other character on the screen. I've been watching him on screen for 10, 15 minutes. I think a woman tried to fuck him, but that's all I got. And I'm like, of course, you're going to write your own character to show up. First thing to happen, best looking woman in the West is like, you want this pussy? I'm like, come on, grow up. This is why you ain't get funding for the other 2 parts.
And my thing is this. Like you said, he left Yellowstone. I've never seen an episode of Yellowstone. All I know is that shit was winning awards and people fucking loved Yellowstone. So you left your basically award-winning praise show, and I'm pretty sure he's probably one of the favorite characters too, for him to lead that to go make this shit, and then you don't even get all 4 parts.
Yeah, this movie is, I can't follow it. I can't even tell it's bad. I literally can't follow it. I'm assuming it's bad. Maybe I have to be able to understand it to say it's bad, but it may take me several more years to finish this a minute at a time. Because I'm always just stopping and being like, I must need to rewind. Because this guy, he's mad at this guy, but I don't even remember him being in this movie. It's all right. Last thing. This is some basketball talk that's only like 4 people will probably like this or understand this, because I had to look it up myself, so I don't even know who this is for. But I love basketball, and yesterday I was watching the Hornets lose to the Cavs. And I came up with the nerdiest compliment to an NBA player ever. It's just like, and I've never heard anyone else say this, and I'm actually surprised no one said this. I would love to hear an announcer say this during the middle of a game. But Jared Allen kept getting rebounds and putbacks, like offensive rebounds. He was scoring all his points off of just like, he was like 7 for 7 in the first half, all like dunks and layups. And
wow.
Yeah. And I said, Jared Allen is part octosynchronous catfish, the way he be eating off the glass. There's 2 people on earth that heard that and went, oh God, that's so funny and clever. And the rest of y'all like, what the fuck is this nerd talking about?
That's me.
I had to look up the name because I didn't know what the name of these things were. But I can show you pictures, and when I show you the picture, you'll probably get it. What they are. But if you've ever seen like those fish in the aquarium, they're these like catfish looking things, and they do this right here on the glass. They eat the algae off the glass. And so it's only funny to me.
You and 3 scientists.
Yeah, I think I made the joke on Twitter, and there was like one dude who liked it, and then he tagged his friend to be like, ha ha, look at this. And I said, I found my people. It was 3 of us on all of Twitter.
Yes. Somebody was like, somebody gets the joke.
3 of us on all of Twitter that are science nerds and basketball nerds who appreciate a good octosynchronous catfish reference.
Well, all those words, because normally those words don't collide. So they're like, oh, these words collide.
It's not even it's not even a good joke, but the reference is so ridiculous that I love it. I love it. And I'm legit going to try to incorporate more stuff like that into my sports watching lexicon now that because that made me feel so funny, even though, like I said, 2 people like this. I've had way more viral tweets than that, but that one is more important than the most viral ones. Okay, let's get into some news. This is another day where I'm gonna tell you right now, I thought we'd finally be catching up on political news, and there's so much of it, and I was down for it and everything, but then a story broke last night, and I only want to talk about this. All right. I told you about this at lunch because it was too good to keep to myself.
Right. You normally don't tell me shit.
And the way I told Karen, I leaned over and was like, girl.
I was like, what did happen, girl?
They over at Fox Sports 1 spilling the tea.
Apparently there is.
Oh, it's a freaky ass niggas better keep their ass inside over at Fox Sports 1. I'm not surprised because everything Fox touch, it just crumbles. It just, I don't know what happened. I don't know why it happened that way. I don't know who said it was okay, but like everything with Fox Sports for some fucking reason is just with Fox related properties. It's just
Fox related on the news and on the sports side.
Just bad shit happening. So I was on Twitter yesterday, minding my business, drinking my tea, and I seen bombshell breaking news. This woman is suing Fox Sports 1, and like all these people are being implicated in this report. And I was like, oh wow, okay, that's interesting. What could have happened? And then I think I saw Charmaine tweeting about it or something, and I said, what happened, sis? What's the tea? Because some of our friends like Charmaine, Nicole, there's Dragonfly Jones, a bunch of people, they don't tweet as a source of information. They are more like canaries in the coal mine that let you know it's some information out there on the timeline and you just gonna have to go find it. Like, they not always gonna retweet it for throw the alley-oop and be like, what? But then they'll just be like, oh, apparently, and it'll be like a nickname for somebody, like, apparently Big Tits was fucking the whole ship. And I'm like, what happened?
Yeah, what that mean?
Big Titties on the ship. And then if in my more inquisitive moments, I'm like, well, let me ask them, and hopefully it won't be like a thing where they're like, I actually don't want to share the story or whatever. But 11, so let's just start with this. A former, I believe it was makeup artist or hairdresser, is filing a lawsuit against Fox Sports 1 for sexual harassment, racist remarks, and the one that I'm not sure that it should be even in this lawsuit, but the one that caught fire, and numerous cases of infidelity. I'm not sure that counts as workplace, whatever, but
okay. Now back to the steak in the table.
Right, it don't. Right, not unless it indirectly impacted you.
Yeah. So it's a former hairstylist named Noshin Faraji, and she's making these claims. Now, keep in mind, like we always say on this show, these are just claims. This has not been adjudicated in court. Some of these things end up being things that get settled out of court. Some of these things go to trial.
Right.
Some of these things get refuted. And as always, even though I know how the currency of social media works, this is not social media. An allegation is not proof.
Agreed.
Right? Yes. Like, I'm not saying you should never believe them. I'm not saying you should always believe them. I'm just saying an allegation is an allegation. We especially with celebrity stuff, you never know. It could, and also a lawsuit is always written to be the most damning version of the events possible, especially in this day and age of social media, where we will pick up a lawsuit, talk about the salacious elements, and make it even bigger than it was going to be, because of jokes and whatnot. So I just want to preface this with that, because I don't, we'll see. But this thing, it's a lot in here, Karen. There's a lot in here, and if you don't like sports, I don't know what to tell you. This ain't really about sports, but it's sportsy, and maybe you just come back tomorrow. I don't know. But Fox Sports 1 is the probably second biggest sports channel in America, right? It's like ESPN and their slate, and then Fox used to have like everything, but Fox Sports 1 is probably the second option for people that want to watch sports throughout the day. And they have like a bunch of shows that kind of mirror the same thing you would on ESPN, your talk shows, your debate shows, your morning news and stuff like that. The names are all funny to me because all the names to me feel like rejected names for shows.
Yes, like the off-brand cereal names.
Yeah, Breakfast Ball. I'm like, Breakfast Ball? Y'all went through more ideas than Breakfast Ball and landed on Breakfast Ball?
I'm pretty sure there was much cooler names.
Yeah, like we're having a first take and cold pizza and stuff.
They like third take. You be like, why did we get third?
Yeah, it's just all they names sound like you got them at Family Dollar.
Yes.
Like you was looking for Transformers and you got GoBots. That's all the names.
Yes.
Speak for yourself. Say something.
Say something.
Coming up after the break, huh?
Because sometimes you be sitting there and they be talking about the next shows and you be like, Is that the name of that's that
The-
really
yeah,
the name of the show?
The facility. That sounds like you gotta go to the bathroom.
The
Why-
facility?
Who's
That
naming
sounds like
these?
a cop show. What is this?
Who's naming these? The facilities? That's what you say. Hey, I need to use the facilities. That's the bathroom.
That's the bathroom.
Why would you name your sports show the facility? God damn. It's just these names are so terrible. Anyway, so I don't know what their ratings is, but I assume a distant second is Sports Center and Stephen A and all these motherfuckers. But who knows? I don't know. And they go all the way to the afternoon. And some of those people on there are some of my favorite sports personality. Like Nick Wright is on there. He's very funny, very smart. So anyway, the bigger point being is Fox related, Fox adjacent, and now they got their own sex scandal in the same way that Fox News had. You know, and it's hard to believe that they can have a positive culture over there, advocating for the things they advocate in Fox. Because how you gonna hold somebody accountable in HR when y'all have people go on TV and tell you the HR department is too woke? I don't know how y'all.
They just doing their job.
Yeah, it's like y'all already telling me not to go to HR. How? Because we put these people on the air and they are saying women should not get off of maternity leave or whatever. Women shouldn't even leave the house or whatever. You know, like. And now I'm in the HR department, like, hey man, I think some sexist things were said. They're like, which episode? You know. No, to me, they said some sexist things to me in the break room. Oh, okay. Was the TV on? Because that could have been just the volume on the TV.
That you mistaken.
Because we keep it on our channel, and that's all we talk about is how you bitches need to get your shit together. You know? But yeah, so this Fox Sports hairstylist made a bunch of allegations, and shout out to awfulannouncing.com who cut it down to the 11 most stunning accusations in the lawsuit. And I'm glad because it's about more than this. Like, it's also about, like, it's a class action lawsuit that invites other people to participate. It talks about how they don't pay people, a bunch of stuff.
Okay.
So it's actually deeper than just, you know, I'm mad and there was a sexual
but just kind of narrows it down.
Some sexual misconduct, which is still, you know, big, but it's even deeper than that, meaning other people can join in and turn this into like a workplace thing. I don't know if anyone has yet.
Right.
So here are the allegations. All right, and there's 11 of them. Skip Bayless offered this hairstylist, Faraji, $1.5 million for sex. According to her allegation, he spent years making sexual advancements towards her. This includes lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breast during normal course of his hairstyling.
Oh.
Yeah. First of all, that is always a detail in these weird, like, people acting weird at work stuff. Now, I know some people get defensive and will be like, what? You can't hug your coworker? No, not if that's how you do it. But no, you're at work. You can't be out here looking like you're slow dancing and the lights are about to cut on at the job. At one point during the haircut, he referred to her as voluptuous.
Not voluptuous.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by stuff like this, really. Not because of because Skip Bayless is a freak. I don't think it's that. I think, one, a lot of these artistic workplaces, which a TV show is an artistic workplace, it's a business, but once you worked around and you're like, oh, this is why it's not the same as working in a cubicle, right? And when these guys are paid to be looking at TV screens because of their charisma, personality, and all that shit, and they're way with the words and the fact that they push it different directions with their opinions, I'm not shocked that a dude would think he could get away with some type of, and he's a man of a certain age, with some certain type of description of talking to people. But you at work, these not your friends. Not everybody talk like that. Not everybody wants you even commenting on them like that.
Right.
And maybe it went over fine. Maybe she said something, but of course it ended up getting, and that's the other thing. Your name is on the marquee, so you may not be the boss, but you're the boss. So, because they're not gonna do the Skip Bayless show without Skip Bayless,
right?
So even though there's some person in the office somewhere that's supposed to be able to reprimand you, if you're abusing your power on the set, more than likely, if you're the talent, they're gonna figure a way to act like you, like the other person gotta go. Anyway, he called her for voluptuous, which is kind of the least of it, but you know. With English being her second language, she was not familiar with the term. Per the filing, Mr. Bayless seemed amused and told her to figure it out. When she was like,
what does that mean?
Yeah, what does it mean? He's like, figure it, look it up. Miss Faraji later asked a coworker what the word meant and was mortified. And that's the other thing. She's Muslim. And I think from the picture, there's a couple pictures online because Black Twitter said size on it. They wouldn't found this woman's account. Pictures she posted doing people's hair like this.
I know they had the time and they combed.
Yeah, and I think, but one of the things I will say is like when someone of a different faith or even of your same faith, depending on how much they're committed to it, stuff mean different stuff to them. Mm-hmm. So like commenting on their body and stuff, no matter what they have on or whatever for their job, that might not align with their belief system. Like they might feel a different way. Whereas I'm sure there's people listening right now. It's like, I wish somebody at work called me voluptuous or whatever, like I would have just brushed it off. And I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm not trying to start no shit. You can do whatever you want, but you're taking a risk every time you do that shit at work.
You are.
That's why I be boring. Everybody is an amorphous blob at my job.
I be the basic of the basic ass bitches.
Absolutely. You can come in your drawers. I'm gonna sit up there and pretend like I'm keeping eye contact. I can't see you.
Did
and
you
it's not because
to my email or not.
It's not because people don't be attractive. Blah blah blah. It's just attractive ain't really come into what we get paid to be talking about.
Ain't that the truth?
And I don't want to be in HR nowhere trying to explain why I thought we was cool enough and why I would never. You would never, but somebody might, and you sound like a motherfucker that might. And our job isn't in. I would never. Our job is in to stop people that might. So you in trouble,
right? That's why we, for people to work in offices, you have to go through the HR training, and that's why every year, every so often, they tell everybody, hey, keep your hands to yourself. Yeah. Don't be touching people and all that other bullshit for a reason.
And also because it's TV. Most people look a conventionally attractive type of way anyway. And of course your makeup and hairstylist people are people that, part of their business is looking good. They come in looking good. You feel like they're going to help you look good. It's like the dude that cut the hair at Game Theory. I'm sure when that brother came in there, his hair had to be together. He couldn't be in there wearing with no fucked up edge up talking about I got you. So anyway, she continuously declined because he would make more advances after her. She said after that, he got more aggressive. She declined his advances, stating that she did not date at work and she is a single mom and needed her job. Then several years after his initial advances, she confronted the Undisputed host about health issues she had developed in an effort to cease any further harassment. So she only brought this up because he kept trying to holler at her. Keep in mind, he's married the whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, and I want to say his wife's name is Geraldine, which, if your wife named Geraldine, I know he ain't sleeping at the house tonight.
You don't want them probably nobody named Geraldine.
Yeah, I think that's his wife or something like or Ernestine or something
Ernestine?
Like that. I think maybe it's Ernestine.
Yeah, that's an old woman's name.
I just know.
That's an old woman. That was an old woman that might fuck you up.
Ernestine sound like she stab a nigga in his sleep. I say the name Ernestine, I feel the grits warming up on the stovetop as I say that.
Ernestine is 60 and up.
Yeah, so I hope he ain't out here. I hope he really wasn't out here trying to play with Ernestine like that. He's probably sleeping in a hotel room or a locked spare bedroom tonight.
Right.
So anyway, in order to stop his harassment, she said this. In July 2021, she developed issues with her left ovary and was advised it could be cancer. With a fourth biopsy scheduled, she explained her situation to Mr. Bayless, hoping that he would take pity on her and cease his advances. Instead, he told her that he wanted to be with her. She panicked and began rambling that there were cameras everywhere and she has a child and she does not want him. He then grabbed her hands, began kissing them, and offered her $1.5 million to have sex. She made an excuse to leave. Mr. Bayless then told her that he fantasized about having sex with her and asked how much money it would take to have sex with her. Miss Faraji stated she had already refused $1.5 million and that her answer wasn't going to change. He replied, "The more you say no, the more I want you." Okay, there's a lot there. First of all, this nigga was coming on her so hard, she was like, one of my ovaries might have cancer. just to try to be like, can you turn it down? And he went, damn, now I really got to get up in there. 2, do you think, so this 1.5 million number, in addition to being the horniest number I've ever heard a man say to a woman for sex, like that's more than, didn't they make a movie with Demi Moore about that?
Mm-hmm.
That's more than that shit. Indecent Proposal, that's more than that. 1.5 million, oh my God. But also, like, what is the reality of that? So if I'm like, Karen, I'm gonna give you $1.5 million to have sex, is it a lump sum payment?
Right.
What are the
Is
taxes?
it direct deposit?
Are you just transferring it to my bank account?
Right. What's happening here?
I feel like that, like, as much as she put that number in here and it's like a egregious number that points out how horny he was, I also feel like that number so big, I think he lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was not gonna give this woman no $1.5 million. He was gonna have sex with her and be like, here's $20, keep the change or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's no way. That's insane.
Right.
What a ridiculous man. If this is allegedly, if this is true.
If this is true.
And then you get to the third thing. She said, I got cancer. And he's like, I need to fuck. I got to hit it, girl. Okay. I know you, listen, dry your tears. I got some of this dick to dry them tears. That's crazy. Yeah, it might be cancer, and I'm a single mother, and $1.5 million. I want to get that pussy, bro. What? He is crazy. And when she's like, later on, he's like, girl, all I do is think about having sex with you. How much it's gonna take? And she like, yes, said $1.5 million, and I said no. How much? What the fuck is wrong with you? He's like,
right,
$2 million.
What is wrong with you?
2.5. And I looked it up because somebody's like, he made $8 million a year at the time that this was happening. Bro, you was gonna give like a fourth of your salary to a makeup artist, to a hairdresser, so you can have sex with her?
No, I don't see that happening.
Boy, if you don't hire an escort or some shit.
Right, whole ass services out here.
Right. If you don't go on IG and find somebody that look just like her and fly her out, you cheater. He also allegedly made racist remarks towards Faraji, accused her of having sex with Shannon Sharp. Skip. Now why? Skip, you know I ain't had no sex. Now why am I in it?
Why am I in it?
Skip.
I definitely want to know that. What I got to do with this?
You know I do my own makeup, Skip. Approximately 1 week later, Mr. Bayless made another advance at Miss Faraji. Miss Faraji responded, Skip, stop. You have a wife. He responded, aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives? You know, now that I'm reading this, I need that dude that does the Skip Bayless impression on TikTok. He got to get all up in this lawsuit. I'm going to need this, bro. I hope you're not letting this content just sit around.
Right, and let it go to the wayside.
This a easy few million views. You could become a meme. We could be tweeting out the videos of you saying it. Be like, you know this what Skip sound like when he said that bullshit. But yeah, aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives? Miss Faraji responded that her father was dead. He looked taken aback. She made an excuse to leave. So her father died, and he said that. Here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I just thought about this. Him, and even though he's not involved in this lawsuit, but Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith made a video the other day about how he'll never could see himself having a relationship with a woman, like a serious one, because he's basically works too hard and he's too dedicated to his job. And maybe that's true. I don't know his life. But you know what else is true? And I'm thinking about this with Skip. I'm thinking about this with Stephen A. Why would any person want to date the single most argumentative, crazy motherfucker on the planet? That can't be a turn on for anyone.
And it can't be, but you can't. I would find it hard to have a functioning relationship.
Like
not unless that's a character and you turn it off. Mm-mm.
Like it's crazy on TV. Can you imagine every day of your life it's a battle in your house?
Mm-mm.
Oh my God!
Nobody would want to put up with that.
Because they argue unpopular, very wrong takes all the time. That's how they got to where they're at. So when you're like, Stephen A., you said you were going to fold the clothes. And I wake up this morning, the clothes are still not folded. Okay, first of all, with all, I respect everything that you do around here. I see that you do the dishes. I appreciate how you vacuum the floors and all of that stuff. When we got married, I did say forever. We did promise that forever. And, and you looking beautiful today, even when you wake up in the morning. And I appreciate everything that you do to take care of yourself. But however, okay. I do not fold clothes. I will stab this nigga. I just can't imagine. I know
that cannot be enjoyable.
I don't think that turns off when the camera goes off and it's not sports. I feel like that's just a battle you have to have every day for the rest of your life. What are we gonna get the kids for Christmas this year, Stephen A? I don't know. What are you thinking? I'm thinking like either a PlayStation or the Xbox. Xbox. Well, which one are you planning on getting? I'm leaning towards Xbox because I heard they got Game Pass and it's more. You must be out of your mind. That's egregious. Everybody knows the PlayStation 5 got the best exclusives. I'm talking about Spider-Man. I'm talking about The Last of Us. Horizon Zero Dawn. Okay, you gonna get out Master Chief?
But the kids is 10. A lot.
You gonna play with they gonna play some Halo? Hell no. Well, so I'm gonna tell you right now. Now with my money, you not gonna be getting Xbox from the Microsoft from it. Like I'm like, oh nigga, it's fucking 3. It's 7 in the morning. We haven't had coffee yet. So I say all that to say, turning Skip Bayless down has to be, I believe, when the relentlessness of this man's horniness and his attempts must have been constant.
Egregious, yeah.
Because why would he
thought it was consistent.
He disagrees for a living. So he like, I'm married and I don't want you. Are you sure you don't want me? Okay, you say you don't want me. Okay, but LeBron James says he's the greatest basketball player of all time. Like what is happening right now,
sir? And
clearly Michael Jordan is the best, and I'm the Michael Jordan of Fox Sports 1. So I think you should reconsider. Obviously, is that really what you're going with? No, you're going with you don't want me. Okay, all right. Then he brings Lil Wayne in, start helping him. You not gonna give my nigga Skip the pussy? Anyway, this is my one-man show, guys.
Apparently so.
This shit makes the world go round. This kind of ridiculousness that I need in my life.
It's ridiculous. You read this shit.
So then after she repeatedly shut off his advances, he then accused her of having sex with undisputed co-host and professional rival Shannon Sharp. So he like, you not giving me the draws because you giving Shannon the draws. Miss Faraji's job is threatened because she does not sleep with Mr. Bayless. Mr. Bayless answered the door, and before she could speak, he began to angrily accuse her of fucking Mr. Sharp. Not the word fucking. He said fucking at work. Bro, you are a wild white man. Oh my God. Not you talking about fucking. Like you DMX on that fucking slip and falling intro. Bitch, you fucking him. That's crazy. Fuck, you said fucking to a person at your job. Wow. Anyway, you're fucking Mr. Sharp. She tried to explain she did not have any feelings towards Mr. Sharp and had never slept with him or any other talent or employee at Fox.
I'm just the makeup person. I mean, the hair person.
Well, it doesn't mean you wouldn't sleep with anybody, but this clearly seems to be a thing for her. She don't do this at her job, right. And I guess this nigga looked at it as a challenge instead of okay, cool. Well, then let me keep myself out of HR. Mr. Bayless then angrily stated that he heard her talk to Mr. Sharp about her vagina. Was she talking about the ovaries thing or?
Could be. You never know.
And she put vagina in quotes, which makes me think he said vagina. Not not like a slang term for vagina.
The
Which Skip Bayless saying, I heard you talk to him about your vagina is pretty good. That's pretty funny. Because I know he said it with like vagina. I know he said it with emphasis. But yeah, so that's another one. Now this is when we get to the part that is very interesting, and the way my personal politics are set up, I will have to be a Debbie Downer for a second to give this preamble, and then we can get into the jokes. But what really took off on Twitter was not the egregious shit that Skip Bayless just did, which you think, if you never heard the rest of the story, you're like, that's the fucking headline. Skip Bayless out here trying to fuck women and harass them and propose $1 million deals. He's a wild boy. And I want to hear him talk about it because he got off of Fox and got his own platform, and he told everybody Fox was holding him back. Well, bitch.
He did.
They not holding you back right now. Don't give us your version of events. I love to hear it.
Yeah, he off the air right now, ain't he? Didn't he leave?
He's got his own platform. He left.
Oh, okay, he created his own platform.
He can absolutely talk about it now. Let's see if he does.
I doubt it.
The problem we have right now is that all the people I respect in the industry are obviously too smart to comment on this shit.
Yes, they are, publicly.
As they should be. And everybody that will talk about this in the industry are people I don't really respect. Like Jason Whitlock not gonna make it. I'm not tuning in to get his take. You know what I mean?
I am not.
And I'm sure that when Shannon and Skip talk about Shannon and Steve talk about this on their respective platforms, it's gonna be real vague, and I'm minding the business that pays me, and you know, I feel bad if it is true. Like, they gonna be smart, as you should be. I'm sure any legal advice would be, don't even bring this shit up. So,
ain't that the truth?
Anyway, so now we get to the salacious shit, because this took off, and it's about Joy Taylor. Joy Taylor, very attractive woman that works at Fox Sports 1. I think she's made it to like the big shows. Like, she used to be like one of those, like, not panelists, but like the rotating, like, you know, a host, crew, or she come in for this, and now she's like part of the crew over there, which is interesting because I don't know if she's played sports, covered sports, all that stuff before.
I don't know either.
But you know, in a very sexist world, there's very few women that they even let sit at the table.
Right.
And most of the time, if someone's gonna be there for a personality, it's gonna be a man.
Yes.
Like, a woman has to know her shit. Mina Kimes knows her shit. You know, if you watch most of these morning talk shows, when Monica Nutt is on there, she knows her shit. She's not just on there. It's like eye candy. And the only people they allow to, like, and for the record, and they almost always all look good too. So it's like, you got, as a woman, you got to look good and know your shit. As a man, you can look good or you can know your shit.
Like, either.
Some people can do both, but you get the option of or.
Yes.
There's some people on there that are not conventionally attractive that are men, but they know their shit.
Yeah, and there's some people that are good to look at and they dumb as bricks.
Yeah, but there's zero women that they allow to be on there typically not knowing they shit. I don't watch enough of Joy Taylor to know if she knows her shit. I'm just saying,
right,
this is important because it's about to be a problem. It's about to come up. And so the part that took off was Faraji put all of Joy Taylor's business in the streets. And I'm not really sure that it's germane to her case in a way that these arguments needed to be made for her to show that there was a culture of sexual harassment and show that there was a culture of her being harassed and Fox Sports 1 not doing anything about it. She seems like it. She used to be friends with Joy Taylor. They fell out. And now Joy Taylor business is in the streets. And while it doesn't necessarily prove levels of harassment, it does prove that it was a messy ass workplace where some power dynamics may have been violated.
Probably the point.
Exactly. That's why she's putting it in here, because it makes everybody look bad. But I don't like it. Anyway, this is what took off. She said that Fox executive Charlie Dixon was sleeping with Joy Taylor, and Joy Taylor was getting rewarded because of the sexual relationship. Before landing her major role as the host of and moderator of Undisputed, Faraji alleges Joy Taylor engaged in a sexual relationship with Charlie Dixon, the Fox executive responsible for content decisions, to secure the position. According to the lawsuit, this alleged arrangement helped Taylor secure the job, but ultimately contributed to the breakdown of her marriage shortly after tying the knot. So lots of infidelity about to come up in this. And the dude, Taylor, the Dixon, was married the whole time, it seems. In approximately May 2016, Miss Taylor asked Miss Faraji to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When Miss Faraji arrived, she told Miss Taylor she found her with an older man, Fox Sports Executive Vice President of Content, Mr. Dixon. Mr. Dixon is responsible for overseeing all content production on Fox Sports 1. Miss Faraji, however, did not know Mr. Dixon. From their body language, she suspected the pair were sleeping with each other, and although this concerned her, as she knew Miss Taylor was recently married, Miss Faraji kept her opinions to herself. The amount of times she basically be like, Joe Taylor is a hoe is crazy in this thing. Cause she always puts in her judgment of Joy Taylor. I noticed, like, even though Miss Faraji was like, it couldn't be me, she didn't like, even though she said, bless your heart, she continued to drink her drink and mind her business.
Continued to judge in private.
Right.
Until it was like, oh, now it's public.
When Miss Faraji said, for real, sis, and then she continued to eat her salad. Mr. Bayless later disclosed that to Miss Faraji he did not want Miss Taylor on the show, Joy Taylor, but Mr. Dixon was adamant that she should star in the show. And at first, Mr. Dixon, that's the CEO dude or whatever, the manager of content, he arranged a dinner between Mr. Bayless and Miss Taylor where she arrived in provocative clothing and acted in a provocative manner. I imagine Skip Bayless told her this when he was trying to fuck, because it don't seem like she was at this dinner. So Skip must have been getting his hair done and was like, they had her show up and she was wearing a provocative clothing in a provocative manner, like you need to be doing. She knew what time it was. No,
right. And when we was talking before, I said, because the environment is wild and crazy, sometimes when you around like your hair people and your makeup people, sometimes these people talk freely like these people are quote unquote nobodies, but they are listening and they are people and human beings.
They become invisible workers.
Yes,
because you just used to getting your hair done and talking to everybody around on staff, and you just stop thinking of them as people,
right?
Or thinking they gonna carry your secrets with you because hey, that's what they do for part of their job. And that's not always true, especially if you do some shit like try to be sexually harassing to them.
Right.
They're not gonna carry anybody's water for that. Anyway. So he said he went on this day, he went to dinner and then she showed up with provocative clothes. When that did not change Mr. Bayless's opinion of Miss Taylor, Mr. Dixon asked him to approve of her as a favor to him. So Bayless agreed to do it reluctantly as a favor to his friend. Around August 2016, which is I think a couple months later, Miss Faraji attended a dinner with Miss Taylor and her husband, Mr. Dixon, and his wife.
Oh, so everybody was there.
All the cheaters at the table. During dinner, Miss Taylor's husband became suspicious that Miss Taylor and Mr. Dixon were having a sexual relationship. Wow. I don't know how she could tell that from just sitting down, but it must have been some Tyler Perry writing for that to happen in front of company.
Something happened.
Were they singing John Legend to each other? What? How was singing a duet? How do you know? You don't have to know.
So Whitney Houston,
right? Yeah. Soon after the dinner, Miss Taylor's husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship and divorced Miss Taylor. So it got ugly. Dixon got handsy with Faraji at a party. So Faraji was attending Joy Taylor's birthday party in 2017. Charlie Dixon groped her after the hairstylist had been awarded a position working on Undisputed. As Miss Faraji was standing near the bar facing the crowd, Mr. Dixon approached her. He asked the bartender for a drink and then placed his arm on her lower back, Miss Faraji's lower back. He asked how she was doing, if she was having fun, if she wanted a tequila shot. Miss Faraji felt very uncomfortable by his unsolicited touching and responded, no, thank you. He then moved his hand lower and started rubbing her body and grabbing her buttocks. Miss Faraji was mortified but quickly thought to fake an incoming call to escape the situation. She did not know who to turn to, but as she knew Miss Taylor was sleeping with Mr. Dixon, she turned to her. probably thinking, hey, get your man. Miss Taylor responded, get over it, and explained that she herself only had her job because of Mr. Dixon, and that Miss Faraji only had her job because Miss Taylor requested her. She warned that Mr. Dixon could take both away. She's like, girl, you better fuck him too. I don't know what's wrong. Are you crazy? This the only reason I'm on TV. Allegedly. Dixon fires female talent member for refusing to have sex with him. A female member who remains anonymous told Miss Faraji that she would no longer be with Fox as Mr. Dixon told her that she would need to have sex with him if she wanted to renew her contract, but she refused. They said Mr. Dixon was doing this to other women talent and she should warn Miss Taylor to be careful. And a talk show host who had recently reported Mr. Dixon, I guess to HR, Miss Faraji told Miss Taylor. So through all this time, I guess she thought Joy was her girl. And it sounded like they must have been friends or something. The power dynamic was such that Joy did not really give a fuck what she was going through.
Right.
And never really seemed to...
I never respect her or seen her as an equal.
Yeah, or never... I was going to say never really seemed to understand that she did not play these games.
Right.
So to her, this whole time, these things were just deal breakers. And Joy is like, this life, girl, get over it. You know, which... abstractly, I'm not as harsh on in a world that's so fucked up that there could be a person that's like, if fucking these motherfuckers will get me the money and the talent and the job, I'll just do it. Fuck it. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying you should.
Right.
You know, everyone's gonna come down hard. But, you know, as JL Covan gets his keyboard out, put it back. Because the outrage won't be written and be like, why the fuck is Skip Bayless doing this? Why the fuck is this guy who will fuck a woman and move her up? He's not seen as violating any code. He's the one that's making the decision to pass up whoever's qualified and give it to whoever will let him fuck. But somehow we'll end up being mad at the person that sees the game is rigged, sees the system's fucked up, and goes, I'll play the game this way just to get to the top. We're like, you piece of shit. But the anger is never 100%, which is why I said on social media, this is the part that went viral, not the Skip Bayless shit.
Right.
The Joy Taylor is fucking everybody jokes was everywhere. So yeah, she told Miss Faraji was like, let me tell my girl Joy. Miss Taylor responded, no one gives a fuck about that person or the talk show host who had reported Mr. Dixon. That's that if it's true, it don't make you look good.
If it's true,
if for someone to come to you and be like, this dude is abusing his power, and you're like, well, don't nobody give a fuck about so-and-so and so-and-so. Ms. Faraji later observed that Ms. Taylor's remark appeared accurate as no actions were taken to address the concerns raised. If it was not already apparent, it became even more clear that Fox enabled high-ranking individuals to abuse their authority, exerting undue control over female talent and employees. Dixon, the dude over everything, the executive, paid off Joy Taylor's fiance in exchange for silence. So she used to be engaged to NBA guard Earl Watson after she got divorced from her husband. Their engagement was broken off though because Watson learned that she was fucking people at work or whatever, allegedly. Dixon, the CEO dude, is like, hey, Earl, don't put my business in the streets. Earl's like, it's my right. I'm mad.
All right.
I done spent all this money on wedding deposits and all this shit.
If I choose to.
So Dixon said, I'll pay off your wedding deposits if you promise not to tell everybody that me and Joy are sleeping together, allegedly. And so that's what happened. Joy Taylor also, allegedly used her sexuality to get on the show. I'm so convinced that Faraji is more mad at Joy Taylor than anybody else in this whole fucking thing.
That's all.
Like, they must have really been tight.
Personal. Sound like it was phone calls, text messages, emails. Like, sound like they were like road dogs, and
it sounded like that was her dog.
And something got broken, and she was like, "Oh, word, bitch."
She's like, you on their side too.
Yep.
You catching heat too then.
Yep.
I don't know if I don't know, but it gets worse, like I said. So Faraji alleges that Joy Taylor used her sexuality to get a spot on another show, basically by hollering at Emmanuel Acho. Not Enamel Acho, dog.
Oh,
Tifus. Not Mr. Tough Conversations with a Black Man. And I think he might be married too, but I'm not sure. I don't remember. I don't remember
know
the
if he's
situation.
married or not.
But if he is, that's even crazier. But he definitely knew she was messing with people. So in February 2020, approximately, Miss Taylor asked Miss Faraji to meet her for lunch in Beverly Hills. She arrived. She found Miss Taylor with Emmanuel Acho. Miss Faraji did not know Acho, but could tell the two were romantically involved. A few months after meeting Mr. Acho at the lunch, she noticed him in the hallway at work. She asked Miss Taylor, did he work at Fox too? Miss Taylor was like, yeah. And said, actually, I'm trying to fuck him so I can get on Speak for Yourself, the TV show. Miss Faraji became alarmed and warned Miss Taylor that she should probably not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time. As Mr. Dixon is a powerful man at the company, he might get angry. They find out you fucking this nigga on the side. And Joy said, don't worry about it. She said she was also now powerful at the company. Like it's been, that other shit happened in 2017. Now I'm somebody. And once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful for her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. She would not allow herself to be forced out by Mr. Dixon like the other women talent. So she gonna pull the lever first. If this is true, obviously it's very damning. Big if.
It's fucked up if this is true.
Because, I mean, sleep your way to the top, whatever. Once you start falsely accusing people of...
That's a whole nother thing.
Preemptively accusing somebody of a sex scandal so that you can make sure that there's no retaliation to you or whatever. I mean, you're playing a dangerous game there. Whether you agree... Obviously the power dynamics are fucked up in the first place, but to then be like, and I'm also gonna cry sexual assault even though it didn't happen, that's wildly irresponsible if true.
If true.
Fox employee harasses Faraji but wasn't fired because of his role supplying cocaine to numerous Fox employees and talent.
Damn, how cocaine not looking like, no, why am I in it?
Bobby Diaz, the Fox Sports behind the scenes employee, racially and sexually harassed Faraji, but he was not held accountable. He mocked her for her pronunciation of English words and sexualized the way she was eating fruit. She did not respond. She just kept her eyes glued on the monitor playing Undisputed. On information that believed Mr. Diaz openly gropes, harasses, and is inappropriate with women at Fox. I think there's another reason she wants it to be a class action suit, because if these guys are doing it to more than one woman, which why would they only do it to her? Then those people come forward and now you got a real case.
Right.
If assuming this is true. On information that believe Mr. Diaz has not been fired, reportedly due to his role in supplying cocaine to numerous Fox employees and talent, even after an incident where he removed his pants on live camera.
What?
Well, come on, Karen. That's the coke guy. It's the coke guy. He's the office coke guy. You never had an office cocaine dude?
No.
Oh, they always pulling their dicks out. That's just like part of the joke. And then you snort some cocaine, then it's all good. Loosen up, Jesus.
I mean, like I say, yeah, this is not office structure. I'm pretty sure, depending on where you work at, they go, don't do the drugs. We test for the drugs. And they like, what?
They don't test. They don't got to test TV people for drugs.
No, they do not test them.
A Fox employee referred to as Miss M in the lawsuit began targeting Faraji due to her Persian ancestry. One night at an informal dinner at Mastro's Steakhouse, she grew irrationally enraged with Miss Faraji and screamed, "Fuck you, you Persian bitch." The dinner ended after Miss M broke a glass and threatened to harm herself. Gee, what kind of fucking dinner was this?
Woo.
Tyler Perry write this dinner?
Damn, we can't even go out to eat?
This a work function. This a work dinner. We not even friends.
A work function, and I get threatened.
Right. And even I'm gonna cut myself. Like, what is happening? Now I will say, throwing in the detail that the person threatened to harm themselves made me feel like that person wasn't in their right mind the whole time.
I agree.
But listen, you gotta get.
They might have been on that cocaine.
You gotta get the lawsuit in. Miss Faraji coworker, you think the cocaine would calm it down, Karen?
Make it worse.
You said gotta get on that cocaine. I'm just asking.
They was probably already on it. That's what I meant to say.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant
I said it wrong.
when you start threatening to kill bitches at dinner. It's like,
No.
you better do a line. I was like, I don't think you know how cocaine works.
No, they did the line before the event.
Yeah, they came out the bathroom like, where's that Persian bitch?
Yes, they came lit.
She fucked up my split ends. Despite these reports, Miss Faraji's co-worker, Anonymous, who was black, reported the incident to HR, explaining that she would not be okay with someone calling her a black bitch. Saying like, well, she called you a Persian bitch, that's racist. Despite these reports supposedly being anonymous, Miss M learned of the reports and became increasingly unstable towards Miss Faraji. Every single morning, Miss M would scream and throw things at Miss Faraji. Now, what I think happened there is the black lady reported to HR, it seems. And what happens, HR tells people, like, you've been reported. The woman assumed it was Miss Faraji because that's who she called a Persian bitch. She like, you returned me in. But it was the black woman who turned her in the whole time out of solidarity. But yeah, and of course, the HR didn't stop the retaliation. Approximately 6
months. If that's true, that's asking for a lawsuit.
And guess where we at? Guess what I'm reading?
The lawsuit. I mean, that don't make no sense. It's like you literally set your everything that any HR person said. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this. Like they tell them.
This means you just have a wild culture at work.
Yes, and you have no structure.
If this shit is true, this just means your whole culture is bullshit.
Yes, if this is true.
Approximately 6 months later, Miss Faraji told HR that she believed her life was in danger. Human Resources responded that Miss Faraji should just leave the workplace when Miss M was having an episode. After approximately a year and a half, Miss M was fired. Miss M's ex-boyfriend, a producer at Fox, shared with that Human Resources gave Miss M a large amount of money in severance. Miss Faraji wondered why Fox rewarded her bully with money. No comment. I don't know how HR works, but I bet you that happens more often than not.
And it may be just to get her to leave because she probably wouldn't have left otherwise.
Yeah.
And or it may be, oh, you know something too, so here's some money so that you won't be going and telling our business in the streets too. We won't get a lawsuit from you.
They're a private business, not prison. They're not the justice system.
Right.
Sometimes they just pay people to be like, let's just be done with this shit. I don't care who's right or wrong. We just want the workplace to keep going.
Right.
Dixon's wife kept on Fox payroll to keep her silent about husband's infidelity. So Dixon is that executive. He was cheating. His wife, I guess, found out. After Bayless offered Faraji an apology for accusing her of having sex with Shannon Sharp, he allegedly told Faraji that Dixon, the Fox executive, has kept his wife on the company's payroll to keep her silent about his affairs with Joy Taylor and other Fox employees. Mr. Bayless also disclosed that he believed Mr. Dixon kept his wife on Fox's payroll to keep her silent about his affairs with Fox's employees, which makes sense too because, like, if he's the lead of the business and he's cheating, then all the other employees are gonna be like, well, shit, we're just fucking people around the office. I'm not, they gonna report me to the big boss? He's doing it.
Right.
I'll tell. Mr. Bayless asked Ms. Faraji out to dinner to continue the conversation, but she declined, stating that she cannot do anything that even gives the inference of a non-work relationship because she wants to keep her job.
Right.
Bayless again tried to coerce her into sex and told her he loved her. This is the last one. On December 21st, 2023, Mr. Bayless told Miss Faraji that he still loved her and confided that Mr. Dixon was the one who had told him that Miss Faraji was sleeping with Mr. Sharp. Mr. Bayless then again tried to have sex with Miss Faraji. Miss Faraji's diary entry for that day states, I said, Skip, I'm only interested in working with you and having friendship relationship with you and nothing else. He said, you have no idea. You are losing everything. I don't know what he means by that, and I hope he doesn't take me off the show. It makes me sick to my stomach. It's really hard for me to work like this. I hope God helps me because Fox is supporting people like Charlie and Skip. It's that's the most 11 whatever the filings, the worst ones.
This is a lot. We were spilling everything, spilling the tea, we were spilling the joy, we were spilling the skip. Everything was out there in the open. And the spilling the harassment
and the memes and all the like stuff on social media that like, because this happened in real time, so they had to go to work today. And so Joy Taylor did her evening show today, Speak for Yourself. I think it's just called Speak Now, and this is how it was on.
Welcome to Speak. I'm Joy Taylor here with Keyshawn Johnson.
There's a lot of social distancing. There's a lot of
they don't want them problems. Everybody was like, yeah, dog, I gotta go to work. I don't want nobody accusing me of shit.
They was out there like, that H1N1 girl is out there, you know what I'm saying, 6 feet.
And one of them lost his ESPN job because they had strippers in the background.
Yeah, Paul Pierce.
So that's serious if he over there going, I keep strippers in my background, but
they had to go to the wide shot.
It's Victory Monday.
This is they are like, nah, we Mike Irvin the furthest away because he know he can't afford no more strikes.
He gets no more
He
strikes.
lost his NFL job messing around.
No more strikes.
He got accused. He said they lied on him, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm good on all this, homie. I'm good." Black Twitter went and found all the old tea. So at one point, Emmanuel Acho, this is September 1st, 2022, had put out a video giving her a love and appreciation. And he's now deleted the video. Which,
why?
First of all, Emmanuel ain't tweet yesterday. Yesterday was the last Sunday of football in the NFL.
Yeah, he had all types of bad takes out there online, making people angry the last day of football. He loved them takes that everybody be like, nigga, what?
He ain't have no tweets. Everybody was like, it must be true. Cause
everybody was like, when we normally want him to shut the fuck up, and he always talking.
So he took down his appreciation post that had talked about, how great of a person she was. I don't remember if it was her if it was like Woman Crush Wednesday, if it was
the internet is forever, baby.
Yeah, like I don't know why because it could have been a reason for it at the time,
right? At the time,
oh, it's just Woman Crush Wednesday or whatever. But nah, so I found the video. I'm gonna put it on the screen. This is a research.
I'll take a moment to shout out my co-host Joy Taylor, a woman, a black woman, Daily Show.
Now you already know. When this nigga, first of all, he's in his car like he just walked out of her house, hopped on the camera phone. But when this nigga started bringing up race in a positive way, I'm like, he must have really been up in that thing. I don't know, because how the fuck, this man is always Mr. Him and Howing black people and white people.
On the wrong side, ain't it?
Yeah,
right. That's what I said. He always be making people mad online.
If we just did more ride-alongs and listen to the white man, we'd be okay. Let's have some uncomfortable conversations. This is not one he wants to have. But this is him in the car, smelling his finger, looking at the camera.
Oh, sports. Do you all realize how hard it is to get into the position that she is in? So often there's misogyny and sexism running rampant in sports, and we don't even care what women have to say in sports. But Joy is not only in the position on television as a woman, as a black woman, but as an opinionist. So not just asking men what they think, but providing her own unique and distinct insight. Done with rehearsal.
Once again, his ability to say a lot of words that don't say that much is unrivaled.
Don't say that much.
This is why he's just one of the best at being the worst when it comes to this job.
The best at being the worst.
He's real good at just saying nothing at all. He's like, she is a black woman, okay? And she also is on TV. She talks to the screen while a microphone is on her lapel. Sometimes they will even put it on her shoulders. Okay? This is a woman who watches sports and then talks about sports while being in America as black and being a woman on TV every day. Okay, so we're not just talking about a woman who's black, who's on TV every day, looking at the camera with a microphone, talking about sports, but she is also giving opinions on the sports, which is hard as a black woman in America. I'm like, bro, what?
You ain't said nothing.
You need an editor. But in other Black Twitter CSI moments, they went and found this picture they had posted that I believe also was taken down, where he's like on her couch back in the day, and there's some details in the picture that everyone was talking about. He's in there with his drink, several drinks also on the counter back here, so maybe he's been there a while. Karen, you look at his feet, you notice anything?
No socks on.
No socks on. No socks, no shoes on a person's couch in their house. Also, wearing like a sheet over his pants area, but you can see he doesn't have on anything below the knee. on one leg, which what's going on under there? I don't know. But they posted this a while ago at the crib, like, you know, whatever. Now he's like, delete. This never happened. So like I said, I don't know if he's married to, or if that would even be like a thing for him. And of course this kind of mess is salacious as well. And it's the part that most people pick up on, because it's just like, oh my God, I can't believe this beautiful woman is sleeping her way to the top. We hate women, and we love to hate beautiful women.
And bring that crew out.
We need to be able to feel down on them, you know, and just how bad they are and all this stuff. There's another post that once again, Black Twitter CSI is really the best. You know, they're really the best. He posted, or Speak for Yourself said, is Cheesecake Factory acceptable for a first date? And there's a picture of Manuel Acho. And then she quote tweeted and said, I will go on a walk for a first date. I'm on a date to get to know the man, not the wallet. And then he posted a picture of the black man skepticism gif, which, and very ironic, of course, being that at this time they may have been on a date. Maybe they were dating.
You never know, right?
Had she been to the Cheesecake Factory? Or why was he posting that gif? Because he know we been on dates and you ain't no walk in the park. You a Cheesecake Factory girl. I don't know.
Yeah, true. Don't know.
Yeah, I still think the biggest takeaways for all of this should be, and but won't be,
the other shit.
The men that took advantage of and abused their power of the employees around there, including the executives and including Skip Bayless possibly. She mentioned Colin Cowherd was a perfect gentleman, which is interesting because probably the worst takes on sports, but I guess he's a stand-up guy. He's like, listen, worst thing about me is my opinions on sports, and that's what y'all pay me to do. This is Emmanuel Acho at work today. He's not giving that energy in this. He's looking down. He's looking at that Twitter scroll through, looking for tweets to delete. I don't know, but he looks preoccupied. He's scrolling through like,
he was like, I don't know what who gives a fuck about what y'all try? Because it sounds like they having a conversation around him, and he's like, I don't care.
He said, let me get my he said, let me delete my Woman Crush Wednesday. y'all keep talking. The Bengals should have made the playoffs or something. I don't know. And then this is the last clip. I gotta go because I got something previously planned, but this is the last clip. Jason Whitlock put his feet into the fire today. And this is the only 16 seconds I heard, and I'm gonna be honest, only 16 seconds I need to hear. But this is his take.
I know what I'm capable of. And that big rack of hers that she showed off constantly. It's just, and that peanut butter skin with that big rack. Now,
he used to work at Fox Sports 1 when she was there, and before he crashed out and got the fuck out of there. He posted on Twitter about how he was going to talk about who benefited for this and all this shit. But I don't think I've ever heard he a fan ass moment like he just did just there.
Who describes people like that?
Yes.
Unless you're in my smut books, why are you describing somebody like that?
I have so many things to say about this, but not that much time. So I'll go through real quick. The first thing is this sentence right here.
I know what I'm capable of.
What the fuck kind of freaky ass nigga say something like that? That's crazy.
What are you capable of?
The people in there have been accused of sexual harassment, and you're like, hey, look, hey, this is a trap. She be looking good, and I know how I get down. I mean, you think Skip was saying something, I would have been saying way worse. I didn't know she was fucking everybody at the job, but if I would have known, I'd be in them HR offices too, y'all. I can't help myself. What? I know what I'm capable of.
Chad, they looked at you and was like, no, sir.
I don't flirt. I just grab the titties right there in front of everybody at the office table. I don't give a fuck. So I'm glad I didn't know. I can't control myself.
I know what I'm capable of. And that big rack of hers that she...
That big rack.
The fact that he has no
talking like her breasts are like a rack of lambs. What are we talking about here, sir?
You talking about them breasts like they are Magic Johnson and he the owner of the Clippers. Big black, big brown racks. Huh? What have they done? What they ever done for anybody? They got AIDS. Why is he so mad that she got big titties? He's like, and she just be putting them titties in the front of my face. Like, what's wrong with her? Big old titties and shit.
Big black juicy
that
titties.
big rack of
you,
hers
sir?
that she.
I like that he stumbled like he was gonna make a different point, but then was like, and then them titties.
Sir.
That big rack of hers that
She was not looking your way.
And then the peanut butter skin.
she showed off constantly. It's just, and that peanut butter skin with
What? Why would you crash out? Like, why are you saying this? We can see you with your fake hair line. We can see, what are you doing? And those tempting peanut butter toffee titties just glistening in the office air, y'all. Okay,
Sir, this sound like you are daydreaming.
Right. Many a time I sat at the table, I said, she know what she doing with them.
Let me get a cup of water because I think I'm thirsty.
Those giant chocolate balloons just all in your boy's face, y'all. And I know what I'm capable of. And I know what I'm willing to do. Okay? And she just talking sports with the nipples hard as two diamonds. Bosom heaving. And my throbbing manhood and my pants pulsating. Thinking about her quivering mounds. And she's just there saying stuff with those silk lips and that, oh my God, oh, that skin is red as the Georgia clay, looking like a two-piece with a biscuit, fresh out the grease. Okay, oh Lord, we're gonna have to go to commercial break. I suddenly beside myself, my stars and garters. Why is he talking like that?
I think I'm hungry for a snack.
Right.
Sir. So
Listen,
you know you're being recorded, right?
I'm at work. I'm on a diet. I'm hungry as hell, but I need an all ass you can eat buffet. Okay.
I'll break my diet for you, girl.
You thinking about the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm thinking about them Oklahoma City titties. Okay, I'm just saying. Anyway, and you know it's bad because I'm complimenting a black woman.
It's bad.
That's how outraged I am. Okay, I wanted to have sex with the white half. I'm Jason Whitlock. Don't get me twisted. But yeah, it's a mess over at Fox Sports 1, and I appreciate you, Karen, for indulging me. Spilling the tea.
You filled me in like we talked about it, but I didn't know it was this. I didn't know it ran this deep in the ground.
This is my favorite thing that happened today. I'm sorry, and I know. Listen, I'm not an expert. There's people that know way more that should be talking about this that aren't me. I don't work in this industry or know these people. But also, they not gonna talk about it.
Not like this.
They be out their motherfucking mind.
They put like this. They are professionals. They might talk in the group chat, but they ain't gonna bring it out to us.
I don't know what Steven Shannon thinking doing that bullshit. Y'all need to shut the fuck up. I said Nick Wright is about to teach a master class in minding the business that pays him. Okay, this is his art. This is his lane. He's about to paint his masterpiece.
For real though.
I don't care who else name getting brought up. I didn't see nothing. I don't say nothing. My Lord. All right, y'all. That's it. So now you guys know what's going on. WTF. What the fuck? WTFS1. That's what I'm calling this episode. What the Fox Sports 1 is going on?
That's a good one.
All right, y'all.
I don't even need to write the name down then.
We'll be back throughout the week. Probably not tomorrow, but probably Wednesday.
Yeah,
all right, y'all. Until next time, I love you.
I love you too.
Mwah. Bye, everybody. Have a good